Moana 2, Moana and Maui face their greatest challenge. The final battle in the much-anticipated sequel to Moana is epic. It puts the fan-favorite Moana and Maui against the most powerful and terrifying villain in the franchise so far, the storm god Nalo. Nalo serves as the main antagonist in the sequel, and this climactic scene does a couple of things. First, it leads to a perfect conclusion, and it sets the stage for future adventures. With no further ado, let's break down every exciting detail of the final score and explore what it means for the characters and the future of the franchise. The stakes are very high when the final battle begins. Nalo, the goddess storms and lightning, has put a curse on the ocean, isolating islands, thus making it impossible for people to communicate with each other. Moana, who transforms into a demi-goddess by the end of the film, leads her crew to the sunken island of Manafidu. At the beginning of the film, she learns that the island is key to breaking Nalo's curse. Of course, Maui, her true ally and friend, joins her on this adventure, but his demigod powers disappear after he loses his magical fishhook during an earlier confrontation with Nalo. This final scene is very dark. It's so dark that I couldn't believe I was watching the sequel to Moana. I kind of felt like we were watching a horror film. The ocean churns violently, dark clouds appear, and lightning brightens the battlefield. Nalo is using his powers like never before, and the stage is set for a battle.
We still have to reach the island!
The battle begins, and once again, we see what the titular character is capable of. When Maui is unable to use his powers, Moana takes charge as she shows off her leadership skills. Her connection to the ocean has never been stronger, and she even uses her powers to control the waves trying to protect Maui and her crew. This is when Maui realizes that he doesn't need demigod powers to be there for Moana. He finally steps in, helping Moana defeat the terrifying Nalo. I have to admit, the dynamic between Maui and Moana in this scene is one of my favorite moments in the entire franchise. I also love the fact that Maui shows complete trust in Moana, trusting that she will succeed in her mission. They both shine in this battle, but it's clear that defeating Nalo won't be as easy as they thought. Nalo's powers are on full display, and this is when we realize just how powerful he is. He summons huge waves, devastating lightning strikes, and even creates tornadoes to keep Moana and Maui at bay. One of the most intense moments comes when he traps Moana and Maui in a vortex of wind and water separating them. This forces the characters to fight for their own lives, and this is where we see Maui's redemption. For Maui, this battle is very, very personal. Because of Nalo, he is left without his powers, which leads to him feeling like he lost a part of his identity. But as the fight progresses, Maui finally discovers that being a demigod is not all about having divine powers. He discovers his inner strength, and in one of his best moments, he outsmarts Nalo, proving that he doesn't need his fishhook to be there for Moana. I just love the character development given to Maui in the sequel, and his redemption arc in the final battle is like a cherry on top. Then, Moana sacrifices herself. One of the saddest moments in the sequel comes when Moana realizes that the only way to defeat Nalo and restore balance to the ocean is by raising Manafidu from the depths. In order to do this, she must dive into the ocean and basically touch the sunken island. Moana dives into the ocean's depths, still fighting against Nalo. As she reaches the sunken island, Nalo strikes her with a bolt of lightning, and we are left to believe that our beloved protagonist lost her life. The screen fades to silence before the ocean and ancestors intervene. Luckily, Moana's story doesn't end here. It wouldn't have made any sense if it did. The ocean, Moana's #1 ally, envelopes her lifeless body, and the spirits her ancestors gather around her. Together, they bring back Moana to life, with her becoming a demigoddess. The scene is both amazing and emotional. Moana comes back to life with a radiant glow and a new tattoo on her arm, which serves as a symbol of her bravery and selflessness.
Together still, just a little different.
This leads to the cinematic defeat of Nalo. In the final moments of the battle, Moana and Maui join forces to defeat the storm god. Thanks to her new demigod powers, Moana creates a huge tidal wave. In the meantime, Maui distracts Nalo and together they overpower him. The battle ends with Moana raising Manafitu from the ocean, breaking Nalo's curse, and finally making it possible for the people of the Pacific to connect. The ocean calms, the clouds part, and we see sunshine. However, this is a bittersweet victory. Yes, the battle is won, but Nalo's not gone. Moana's demigod status will be definitely explored in the next installment, and while she has acquired new powers and is likely immortal, this transformation comes with its own set of challenges. The final scene also hints at Nalo's return. In the post-credit scene, he vows revenge, confirming that he'll be back as a villain in the third installment. Now it's time for the most interesting part of our video. Questions for you. What do you think about Moana's transformation into a demigod? Do you think she's a completely different character now? With Nalo returning in the next film, how will Moana and Maui prepare for him? Do you think we should see more mythical beings introduced in future installments? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching. See ya!